My name is Elena Poughia, and I am the Managing Director with Economy Media, the company behind Data Natives, and also the founder of Data Natives. And this year we decided to start with a little bit more special. So this year we're having curated 3 other events here in Berlin. We decided to really give a theme to this conference around what the kind of topics that are really troubling us, and we are considering them and thinking about. And also at the same time, a topic that can be a bit philosophical and can be symbolic. So the quickening. So are you ready for the quickening? Hence the dramatic highlighter movie poster. Have you guys seen this movie? Or know about what I'm talking about? Have you, or at least assume what I mean? A bit? Yes! So yes, the quickening, right? So this moment, this is a post-apocalyptic moment where things are moving so fast that you get this lightning, like highlighted it. So we are reaching that point, right? So when I think about that, I'm thinking about the history of computer science, which of course is the history of humans, in a way, and how we went from having the very first computational, let's say, machine calculator, right? In the ancient times, the abacus. And now we are at the point where supercomputer, the IBM supercomputer, which is the fastest supercomputer in the world, can process data 200 quadrillions, doing 200 quadrillions calculations per second. That's mind-boggling. So if you think about it, the history of computation, where we are right now, how fast things are moving and how much data do we accumulate. And at the same time, right, we are data. So, and we can understand that as well if we do some genomic sequencing. If we can, I mean, we have so many tools right now, and a lot of the speakers as well today are going to be talking about that, where we can give a sample of our own data with our saliva, and then we can get where we come from, right? Where our roots as the DNA, where are the roots of the DNA, this information that we're carrying in every cell of our body, and what does that also mean for us in the future? What kind of conditions and diseases and are we predisposed to have? Which is exciting, right? It's really in the genes. So with that statement, we have so much data around us, and we are all made of data. This is just to show you an example as well. This is data pulled as well, open sourced from Fitbit, sorry, where you can see it's about 180,000 billion that they calculated from your sleep metrics, right? So everybody who's using, which I'm sure there's a lot of us here, to measure their sleep, you can see some of our collective data there being accumulated and showing where's our activity versus our heart rate per country, or resting heart rate by age. And that's just an example of all of the ways that we can use that data, and we can pull analytics, and we can actually taking it forward, see it using data for artificial intelligence or using data for blockchain. So there is really this big data movement in a way, and that's what Data Natives is. I'm spoiling it. It's this quantify itself. How many of you are really paying attention or having apps on your phone to measure things for you? Yeah, don't be shy, guys. We all know that we do that. Okay, it's okay. I'm not gonna judge you. So yes, right. We have these apps where you can basically measure a day in your life. Waking up, how was your sleep? What kind of, I don't know, opening the app, or where do I go for coffee, or would I like this place, do I like this kind of coffee, or how many steps have I done today, what kind of movies should I watch, what kind of music should I listen to, and so forth. So we are really the quantified self, and we are quantified as a body, we're quantified as a mind. There's so many ways that we can quantify our existence, and really taking that forward and bringing it back to this conference and this community, are we really a data native? And what exactly does it mean to be data native? The people from the team that put together this conference have answered that question. luckily through this podcast, through this interview series that we did for a podcast. Please play the video. Awkwardly silent, moving. Okay.
So what is a data native for you?
A data native for me is people-focused.
Well, in the first place, I think we're all data natives.
For me, being a data native is living in a time where we're seeing a lot of kind of hype and excitement, but also a lot of fear and terror around how data is shaping the way that we live and work.
Being more inclusive, being more connected, or connected in a way that is meaningful and really being part of something that you build a career together and you're building things together for the future.
We're in a very fast-paced world now, and technology is making so much difference in the financial sector, in real estate, in health.
How it's transforming different industries and the way we work, and how, for instance, we can use artificial intelligence to map out policy shifts in governments and loads of unexpected applications that you might not think of when you think of AI and robots.
I feel like they not just share superficial stuff, but actually share about the future, the scary part and the exciting part, and where we can find solutions together and really disrupt the status quo.
It's also being collaborative, so we're moving away from principle-based structures that they are big and scary and institutions, and then we just go towards something more decentralized in a diverse environment with where it's female-oriented from my perspective, where it's more inclusive at least to the feminine character. I think that's fine. Can we move forward? Because I think like I'm actually running out of time, as it seems. All right, thank you. So this is a snippet of the team and what they thought about what is a data native. Thank you to Tijan who came into their office and took this video with us and asked us this question. And just that's our opinion, of course, but you're here today to experience and see what you through the talks and all of the opportunities to meet all these people that are here. I believe we passed our records this year, so we have 1,900 registrations, maybe even 2,000 registrations, more than we anticipated. So you're gonna meet all these people, you're gonna enjoy all these talks, and you will form your own opinion on what it is in a native, and what do we mean with bringing all these interesting ideas forward and discussing those topics. From our perspective, being data native is being Sailor Moon, so that's fine. Or at least that's a way that we relive our childhood. But in all seriousness, and Cassie here from Google, who's gonna speak to that tomorrow, she's gonna bring more ideas forward. She defines data science, right, as something that makes this data useful. So we talk about the data that we generate as humans, the data that we have collected on computers. So what about the data that we have, we have all this data, how do we make something out of it? So data science is really about making it useful. But data science is about prevention as well. And those people here are some of the speakers today and tomorrow who are gonna talk about that. Prevention is medicine. There's a panel on personalized medicine, which is very, very interesting, where they're going to talk about DNA sequencing and precision medicine and how to provide the right drug to the right patient at the right time. Data science and prevention, it also means that we are aware that those algorithms can be weapons. So how we can prevent that from happening? That's something that Stuart and David will discuss at their firesides in this afternoon. Data science also is about crime prevention. We do find from Data Eco will talk about that. They've done a very interesting study last year, and now they're coming back and looking at what that study meant and what kind of, reevaluating it. Also, data prevention means that we need to redefine democracy in a way, and what kind of tools do we use to broadcast social media. That's something that Elisa will talk. Data science is also about recommendation. As I mentioned, all these machines, all of these tools that we use, the phone, the Apple Watch, you name it, they're all collecting data for us and they're recommending things to us. There are some speakers that are going to talk about that as well. Dan from MailChimp, he's going to be talking about that. He's going to be talking about A/B testing MailChimp, which to me is sort of the common thing in a way, marketing recommendation. There's also going to be talking about recommendation in the future, how we can make the world more sustainable. A speaker from Supper and Supper and Arcades will talk about that. How can we use these technologies, gather the data, and then make make more sustainable solutions in the future. Also about, let's say, about the ROI on AI. So Diksha Duda, our own editor, will be talking with two VCs. We're going to be talking about how we can measure and how we can recommend better solutions in the future. Data science is collaboration for us as well. So some of the speakers will talk about, for example, here on the slide you can see Edu, who is talking about how to use open source, so data in a collaborative way where everybody has access to and use it, so that they can cure diseases. Bard will talk again about open source AI, data for health. Karine did a study on pulling data from Meta, and also in that way can see how collaboration works virtually between people, but gathered together in a collaborative way. So sort of an oxymoron there. Karim, she's a community manager of Neo4j. They also have a lot of tech communities, again, collaboration there. Data science education. Data science is such a new field that we really need to be educated on it, and we need to understand how to utilize it, and we need to be informed. Because there's so many buzzwords, right? And we're all saying them right and left, like AI, IoT, blockchain, but what does that mean? How can I see it in my business or in my work or in my surrounding environment? Those are some of the people that are going to talk about that. Iveda from HPE, she's going to talk about how to lie with data. So is data really reliable, or are we just messing around? Cassie, as I mentioned, from Google. Anita, who's coming next, I think in the next two sessions, she's going to be talking about the do's and don'ts with AI. Mark is going to talk about, is big data really dead or not? Data science is about innovation. And for us, that means that we're bringing here as many startups as possible. This year, we're introducing the conference room. We did introduce it last year, but last year was more of an open space for ideas. This year is a curated room where there's going to be startups talking about what they're building with these technologies 10 minutes after 10 minutes. There's going to be a lot of content and very interesting ideas floating around. And data science should also be about culture, right? And it seems to be coming up again and again. It's been, again, because of the quickening, because of all this data, we are panicking, we're in panic mode, and we're just doing things fast. We don't know what we're doing, and that means that we're hiring a lot of data scientists, but in the end, do they really fit in the culture? How do you make an organization data-driven? How do you make it in a way that it's really fitting in a specific culture? There's going to be a panel specifically just talking about that. And then at the end, of course, it's not all fun and games. There is the ethical dilemma of what are we doing and where are we going and how is that going to impact us as humans, but also how it's going to impact, the way that we process that data, how it's going to impact generally our society. And I guess on that note, I would leave you to that, because there's going to be a panel specifically on that tomorrow, but also the keynotes, the very first keynote of today, will be tackling this idea of how we can build AI specifically designed for humans. How can we build an AI that is catered to humans, for humans, by humans, and at the same time takes into consideration really, unconscious bias, ethical dilemmas, the right use of data without discriminating and being provided. I mean, I don't know, this is a big challenge, right? But at least we need to have this discussion and we have to have it openly. Yes, I'm actually right on time. I've got 1 minute. So thank you so much for coming. And really hope that you enjoy the rest of your time here. And yeah, come and find me if you have any comments or questions or if you want to connect.